Good morning. Today is Monday, July 29th. The reading rush ended last night. I am on my way to work. I did not get to film days 6 or 7 at all. So I'm just gonna do my wrap up in my car on my way to work today. Because I am a teacher. Today is, we have staff meetings all day. Well, like half the day, and then the next half is like classroom preparation and all that kind of stuff. So it's gonna be a super long day, and I know I won't have time to film anything like substantial later. So this is what we're gonna do right now. Hopefully at some point when I'm in my classroom, I can steal a few minutes to roughly edit this so that it can, ooh, the sun. I'm gonna have to put sunglasses on. Okay. Anyway, so, hopefully I'll have time to like steal away and edit for a little bit. I'm going to be reaching into my bag right here next to me and pulling out the books that I read during this reading rush readathon, and then I'll try to say a little bit about each one, because some of the challenges I actually struggled with. The non-human main character, I definitely struggled, because I seriously picked up a couple different books and would read and just, I don't know, I just couldn't get in it. So I ended up having to pick up a book that I'd read before that I knew I actually really liked and just reread it. So anyways, I did that yesterday afternoon. So, okay. So the first book I'm going to talk about that I read, I'm feeling for it in my bag, and I wonder if I'll be able to pull the right one. Probably not. Yes, I did. Okay, so the first book that I read was the Cherry Cola Book Club. Now this book, it covered the challenges, a book with purple on the cover. It covered an author's first book. It covered a book no, not that one. It covered a book with 5 or more words in the title. So that's 3 challenges. I think that's what it covered. So that's, 3 challenges down. Another book I read is, if I can get it out. And once again, I forgot to put the jacket on it. So that's The Killing Club. I read The Killing Club. This is the one that I meant to read last year. So that's 4 challenges. It was okay. It was fine. It wasn't, best book of the, it did surprise me with the ending, like the reveal of who the murderer was. But so that was, I guess that's a good thing. I also read Beautiful Disaster. That, obviously you saw it was a very small book, very short book. I think it was like 77 pages, and they're like little. But that one is one that I had to read for, to write a review anyways. So I figured one of the challenges being read a book in the same spot every day. I don't know that that's going to be I wasn't sure if that would be the easiest thing for me to do. So picking a really tiny book worked out great, because I kicked that one out in like half an hour. So yeah, that covered the same book one book in the same spot every time. So for my own brain, let me think. I completed the challenges purple on the cover. Meant to read last year. Same spot. 5 or more words in the title. And author's first book. So that's 5 challenges. So then I read Little Women. Love this book. I've always loved this book from the first time I read it years and years and years and years ago. And the reason I read that one is because of the challenge book to movie adaptation. Read the book, watch the movie. And I couldn't think of what to read, so I went on, I just Googled book to movie adaptations on Netflix and looked at the list of the movies, and I saw that Little Women is on Netflix. And I absolutely love that movie. I have loved that movie since I was young, and so I really wanted to watch the movie. So I downloaded the audiobook because I had a lot of painting to do. So I listened to the audiobook while I painted. And I did read some of it as well, but I kind of like went back and forth depending on what I had to do that day, and knocked that one out, and then watched the movie that night. And I don't know, one of those things that just like makes your heart smile, brings back, you know, the good feelings of memories and all that stuff. So that one was a good one. So there's the 6th challenge, book to movie adaptation, and then the 7th challenge, that the one that I said I had a hard time with was the non-human main character. I just tried several books. I wasted a lot of precious reading time trying to start different books, and I just could not get in. And even if I would read like 2 chapters, I never counted those pages because I don't know, I guess I should have, I could have, but I just didn't, because it wasn't any books that I actually completed or anything, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, so yesterday, like early evening, I was like, I am down to the wire. I really need to figure it out. So I went to my bookshelf of all my read books and just started going across all of them and figuring it out. And I decided on reading or rereading The Siren by Kiera Cass, because though it wasn't like the best book I've ever read in my whole entire life, I actually enjoyed it. I had literally never read a book about a siren. I'd never read anything about sirens. I'll be real, I didn't completely even know that that was a thing, you know. I knew of mermaids and all that stuff, but did not realize the whole siren concept and that they're like not good. You know, I don't know. Anyway, so I did end up reading or rereading The Siren by Kiera Cass. And I have previously annotated it a little bit, like quick little things. It wasn't one of those books that I just went crazy because there was so much to say. It was just, you know, quick points. But anyways, so I reread that to be my non-human main character book. So that completed all my challenges. However, that only brought me to 5 books. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, that only brought me to 5 books. So I wanted to make sure that I got in that bonus challenge of read 7 books. I should have just let that one go because that was difficult in the short amount of time when, you know, like I said, I came down to the wire. But I did tell you before, for those of you who have watched some of the other videos, that my sister and I had bought this book at the same time, The After Party. We were at the bookstore and we saw 2 copies of this one sitting there like in the clearance section, and she's like, oh, it's a book we can read together. So I went ahead and decided I wanted to read that. I talked to her on the phone. She was going to read hers too. I actually don't know if she's finished. I don't even know if she ended up starting it because she had a big work schedule last week. But anyways, I went ahead and read it. I finished it yesterday at some point, and it was just strictly okay. I guess like 3 stars. I don't know. The only 5-star book that I read was Little Women, and that's because it's Little Women. It's always been a 5-star. It will always be a 5-star. But anyway, so I did read that one. So that brought me to 6 books, and it was literally like 10 till midnight, and I was desperate to read a 7th book. It was just my mission. I had to finish 7 books. So, did I cheat a little bit? Probably. But a book is a book, right? And it wasn't just a picture book. I mean, it had words. I read it. And for a children's book, it had, you know, a good amount of words in it. It wasn't just a I can read type of book. It was a story. I read Stella Luna. Now, this book is so good. It's so sweet. And it's actually my son's book. He is 20. And he had said earlier in the night, I was like, I don't know what I'm going to read for a 7th book. I'm going to have to just grab something. And I had completely forgotten about The Siren. And I was like, I'm 1 challenge away. I have to read a book with a non-human main character. And I have like 10, 15 minutes. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just not going to get 7 challenges. And he said, I know. And he goes in his room and he comes out and he was like, my favorite book as a kid, Stella Luna. So it's like 40 pages, something like that. And I read Stella Luna. So is that cheating? Maybe, but I'm going to count it. I read 7 whole books last week, and I'm happy about it. So that is my wrap up today. Those are the books I read. It was a total of, I figured it up this morning before I got in my car, wrote it on my hand, 1,885 pages. Oh, because I started reading The Last of Us Parish on the first day, last Monday, and I never completed it. So I did get quite a lot of pages in, and just, it was good. I don't know why I didn't complete it. I guess maybe because it didn't cover any challenges, so I was like, oh, I'll just get to it later toward the end of the week, and then ran out of time, and so there's that. Anyway, so, but I did count those pages because I read a lot in those pages. I mean, in that book. So, anyways, so 7 books, 7 challenges, 7 days. I did it, and I'm happy. So, thank you for watching if you made it through this whole video. And